Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Tech, and I have another base build for you for Rust. This one's going to be a basic heli tower, and if you want to see how it performs in an actual heli fight, you can click the link in your top right corner right now, and you'll see me solo the heli using this base. So you can get an idea of how well it works and how you might want to play the heli out in it. Basically, this is just a heli tower, not really an actual base, no real place to keep like your loot and farm and stuff like that. You can convert it or you can just use the things that you learn here in this design, or the things that you see, and put it towards your own heli tower. It's a pretty basic build, nothing too crazy, relatively cheap for what it is, but let's get right into the tour. So just your standard, regular airlocks, nothing special. You come in down here, here's your room where you can keep the guns and meds and stuff that you're going to need to fight the heli, so that you can have some on here in case you have to like quickly spawn back here to fight the heli. There's room here for a couple beds, and then we go upstairs, and this is really just, you can put lockers here and beds too. That way if you spawn in to fight the heli, jump in the locker, grab your gear, and you're on your way. You go right into the fight. You already have meds and everything like that. That's what I like to use the spaces for. It's really helpful for doing the heli. And then up here, this is the central room. Let me just close these doors to give you guys an idea of the space that you have. So this is just the central room. And this is the lower fighting area with pretty good views. You have these triangles above you to give yourself something to hide behind when you're baiting out the shots and everything from the heli. Gives you a little bit of protection from up top. And then just your standard window bars. I don't even bother putting the shutters on because the rockets just blow them right off. And then it's the same thing in all the rooms, just a little bit different of a view. And then we'll go upstairs. This floor is the floor that I tend to use the most when I fight the heli. It gives you pretty good angles, and it also gives you pretty good things to block the heli from shooting you with. It's a little bit tight here, but you sort of get used to just running and jumping through it. Gives you relatively good defense for when the heli's shooting you to hide, and it's also fast enough that if you see the heli start coming in for rockets, you can get right to the other side of the base. I also have these doors close to each other so that you can just get through to the other side real fast, or change your side or whatever like that in case there is napalm. And then up here is like the main deck. This area generally is where you start the fight from. You can get in your bolty shot to pull it over. Probably get in a decent amount of shots before you have to take off because the rocket's in the napalm. This floor tends to get covered in napalm fast. It is pretty open, but that's definitely where you would want to start the fight from. That way the napalm and everything just winds up down low. So then we'll come outside so you can see some more features of it. And then it's got the roofing up top, and it's also got floors inside so that it's double layered. So hopefully it doesn't completely blow you wide open. And if you really wanted to, you could probably start the fight off here and then like go directly downstairs like that. Or if there's multiple people fighting, you guys can sort of use these as like your fighting ports. If it's focused on one person, you can be up here while you're fighting it. So basically, the main things I focused on was sectioning, oh well, that wall's backwards, was sectioning the base off into different areas and different layers, so that as the rockets and the napalm do come in, they're gonna like shut down areas of your base while you're fighting it. So this way, if a napalm's like one side of the base over here, you'll have easy access to the other side of the base. You'll have different compartments really where you're gonna be safe. But with that being said, I think the tour is done. Let's show you guys how to get this thing built. So for building it, it's, like I said, fairly simple base. You're gonna come and just do a 2x2. Take your triangles, just like this. And that's gonna be your basic footprint that you're gonna work off of. Not too complicated, and I'm probably going to wind up speeding up a lot of this just because it's going to be simple stuff, and I'll slow it down when we get near the top. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just set up your airlock like this. And I'm just going to say now ahead of time, I'm not actually going to put a tool cover down while we do this, but you can pretty much put it anywhere, even if you want to put it in the honeycomb. Um, it doesn't really matter because the authorization trick doesn't really work. It doesn't stop it from rocketing. You can put it right out in the open floor or anything like that. But for now, let's just go ahead and speed this up a little bit since it's just honeycomb. And while we're doing that too, I just want to make sure, I really don't recommend this as a main base or anything like that. It should pretty much just be a solo base. You could take what you see here and apply it to like your main base or something if you want to just throw a heli tower on top of it, which wouldn't be a bad idea. But this design as like a standalone base is relatively weak, especially for storing anything good in it. Alright, so that's basically the first two floors. And now all you're going to do, this is where you're going to start adding on the actual fighting sections here. And it's all fairly straightforward. We're probably going to wind up fast forwarding through most of this as well. Alright, and so that's your first shooting floor all done there. And to show you guys what it looks like, so that you know you're on the right path and everything, it's basically exactly the same thing as the footprint, just now you're all walled in and everything. So now here's the part that's a little bit tricky, probably the hardest part really as far as building it. You just go ahead and put these triangles on. These are the ones that I showed you. It sort of gives you some extra defense in the windows. Now, after you do that, you're going to want to build up this center section again before you go and put those roofs on. If you do the roofing first, you're not able to put on one of the corner squares. So you want to make sure that you do this inner part first, and then go ahead and just run these squares all the way around the outside. Okay, so now that you have all those squares on there, you want to come out here, and sometimes this can be a little bit, not glitchy, but just a little bit buggy sometimes with putting these on. You'll see here, like, there's absolutely no reason why I shouldn't be able to put those on. They're red. And so you have to mess around with it a little bit. But you'll see, like, sometimes it just all of a sudden decides to start being blue. But sometimes it definitely does take a little bit of messing around. Then you can see on this side too, it gives me the same sort of like problem. I always have this issue with roofs regardless of what I'm building. But you can see here, it starts to work better. And if I jump, sometimes it resets it for some reason. Like, I have no idea. But basically, that's all you have to do around the perimeter. And then you just got to delete that square or triangle, whatever you use to be able to reach out there and put that roof on. Alright, so once you're done with that part, now you can come up here, throw these triangles on, which wind up giving you just a little bit extra coverage from the heli being able to shoot down on you. And then put these low walls too, which actually, they wind up working out better than you would think at blocking the heli from getting certain angles on you. And then after that, it's just a matter of finishing up this top part, throwing in your windows, and then we need to drop our stairs in here. Put them just like that. And then I like to do these wall frames here just to give yourself a little bit extra stability. To the floor. And now the last window. And now you want to do the roofing first. And then follow that by putting floors up. And like I said, that's that double layer. So if the rockets do hit your roof, they won't make it all the way through. They have to go through that wall too. And then it's just a matter of finishing up your accessories, throwing on your window bars and everything like that. So with that being said, guys, this is pretty much the end of the build. And I'm probably going to throw it up in the top right corner again, as I did at the beginning of the video. If you want to see how this base does during a heli fight and how it works, feel free to click in the top right corner. There'll be a link to a video of me soloing the heli in this base. Otherwise, that's it for this heli tower build. If you guys are looking for more Rust content on a regular basis, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. And if you are, how about dropping a like for the video? And as always, I'd love to hear more suggestions and challenges and whatever else you're looking for down below in the comments. I love chatting with you guys, and I always try my best to reply to all of you. But anyway, hope you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next video.